Welcome everyone, back with the latest time trial video, where I go through my best lap and show you if I'm able to get gold driving in automatic, and hopefully show other drivers who attempt this in automatic that if I was able to be fast enough, then it can be done. Sometimes I'm not fast enough, or the elite drivers make the gold target out of reach, and I'll have to switch to manual. I'll showcase those laps in these videos as well. I do all my driving on controller, and in time trials, I drive with assists on, which are countersteering, ASM, ABS, and traction if needed. I'm also using the braking area, apex markers, and chasing one of the leader's ghost. The second part of this video will be the chase cam view, so you can see the full position of the car through turns as I'm driving. With all that being said, let's jump right into the lap and show you how I did. This time trial is at Watkins Glen International Long Course in the Chaparral 2J. ABS is set to weak, and that's it for this car. Turn 1. I'm using the 400 board and braking pretty much right at it. I let off around the second last bar of the area, coast for a second, and back on the throttle around the apex. Full throttle through this whole section. Here at the bus stop, I'm using the 500 board and braking just before it around here. I let off as I approached the first curve. I taped the gas, which made me go a little wide, so avoid doing what I did. And that caused me to go a little wide on the bend, but I managed to keep a decent speed and it worked out in the end. For this left, I'm using this tree that's just ahead of the 200 board and across from this big tree. I let off at the last bar, let it coast for most of the turn, then hit the throttle around the apex and go full out. Here, I use this Gran Turismo 7 sign and brake as it passes off screen. I let off after I passed the last bar, coast a bit and gradually back on the throttle until I can go full out. You can go full throttle earlier than it may feel. For this turn, I start braking almost at the halfway mark between the 300 to 200 board, which is also at the 6th bar of the area, let off at the last bar and hit the throttle at the apex. At this left, I use the 200 board and start braking as it passes off screen, let off at the last bar, and you want to let it drop to first gear to get to high RPM on the exit, and gradually get back on the throttle until you can go full. Here, I'm braking at the 3rd or middle bar, just before the 100 board, just a quick brake, let off at the last bar, coast past the apex then go full out. Final turn, I use the 3rd bar, and just before this change on the barrier, let off at the last bar, coast a bit, then flutter the throttle slightly until I can go full out. Even with my mistake at the bus stop in the following bend, I still managed to keep it fast enough to better my time just by a little. To get a 1:30.344, this should be good enough to stay in gold standing. We'll just have to wait and see. Now I leave you with the chase cam view. Hope this video can help all my fellow automatic drivers get themselves that gold. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you, and see you in the next video.